Welcome back to Day by Day, you guys. My name's Evan, and this is the last video of the last 7 years and the 20 lessons that I've learned to really propel me forward. I'm excited for the future of this channel because my vision for this podcast is to help people understand the process of the phases of life. And so when I have guests on, I'll trickle into, the thought process of the last 7 years and the lessons that they've learned. But I think that it'll relate to this playlist of the 20 lessons of my life so that you'll be able to have multiple perspectives of these lessons. And I'll be sharing a lot of these videos with the world, and I'm excited. So stay tuned, hit the bell so that you don't miss those amazing episodes with amazing people. And give this a thumbs up and share it with somebody so somebody else could benefit from this topic. And the topic is accepting people for who they are. This one is kind of along the lines of like stay in your lane, or what were some other lessons that I did? I have them right here in my notebook. I mean, dropping your guard, maybe. No. I think you guys get the gist of like that some of these lessons coincide with each other, but definitely one of one. Like this one is so powerful. And I think that the second I started accepting people for who they were, it didn't inflict with like anything that they didn't inflict on affect something that I was doing. Like it didn't what I was trying to say was it didn't inflict any harm or disruption to my life. So it's a very powerful topic. When I was 22, 23, I got in this relationship that wasn't really like, I look back and yeah, like I cared about her, but it just didn't, there wasn't like this depth that I find with people nowadays. And part of the reason why we got so deep together is because I was just kind of disgusted with myself by looking at this person and being like, they're not good enough for me. So I would go back and go like, well, just accept them for who they are. They love you and they want to be with you. They want the best for you. They do sweet things for you. So just accept them, like love them for what they're doing. And that process was very toxic for me. But after, it made me appreciate the interaction, the connection even more, because I was looking at it like, wow, I put myself in a space where even though I knew it wasn't going to work, I accepted them for what they wanted and I gave them what they wanted. I sacrificed myself so that they can feel the love that they needed, the person that they needed at the time. That process showed me that the person that, asks so much of you, you can love them from a distance. You can give them your love and your perspective and your presence from a distance. It doesn't have to be consecutive days in, out of showing up for them. You should be showing up for yourself at that point. Like you should be like, yeah, nope, I need you to stay over there. You need to stay in your lane so I can do me. So the process of accepting somebody for who they are is understanding that they don't need to be anything for you. They don't need to provide anything. They don't need to tell you anything. They don't need to do something. They don't need to do or bring or say anything to make them more beautiful. They're beautiful just on their own. And all these topics, once I say these things like that, like accepting for them for their beauty, it reflects right back to you. Like, if you accept their beauty, then maybe, just maybe, you can look in the mirror and accept your beauty. It's so important and imperative to be able to accept someone's beauty and who they are and what they do, so you can in turn accept who you are and what you do. Or maybe that's another way around, but I learned it that way. So I don't think there's a wrong or right way to learn it. Like, some people will be like, no, you have to learn how to love yourself and like, you know, turn it around so that you can love others. But what if you learned to love others so much that you got to a point where you're like, wow, I need to stop not loving me and love me more? The fuck? And that allowed you to love yourself more and then love others more and pour into others even more. So there's no real right answer. There's no like moment of clarity that's better than the others. Like, you will reach that point where you look at somebody and you accept them for who they are. Whether that's before you accept who you are or after. Yeah. I think there's a lot of division in this world. Like today at the gym, this guy, he comes up and I'm hitting the cables, and this lady left the 2-arm cable machine, and I was like, oh, are you done? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, perfect, awesome. So I put my bag there, and this guy, comes around and starts changing the weight, and I'm like, oh, is it okay if we work in together? And he's like, yeah, no, of course, I'm just using one. And I'm like, me too, perfect. And he's like, you know what? I just want to appreciate you for how young you are and how much you appreciate, or he said, how you respect us old guys. Because I was on a machine the other day and blah, 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 blah. This guy was disrespectful. And I was like, man, part of humanity is being able to connect. So what are we doing if we can't do that? What's your name? And he told me his name, shook my hand, and I told him my name, and I accepted him for who he was instantly. I didn't go, oh man, this guy's a geezer. He's senile. I'm not even going to try to share this machine with him. I'm going to go find something else. Nope. I accepted him for who he was and asked him if I could work in. And even if he said no, I would have said, okay, have a good day. Like, I'm not thinking anything other than you are where you are, and that's okay. Because I am where I am, and that's okay too. This other time at the gym, man, so many moments at the gym where I'm like, oh. It was 6 a.m. I walk into the gym and it's cloudy outside. Sun had just come up, so it's like 6:30, and this guy I know, he walks by, and I was like, hey, how's your day going? And he's like, good, so great. And I'm like, man, mine's going great, but I can't wait for that sun to come out behind those clouds. And he's like, no, the sun's still there. It's just alone, and that's okay too. At 6:30 in the morning, dude, that hit so hard. I was like, you're going to have to give me a second. I'm going to go cry and then come back. And then if you're still here, I'll have to cry again. So I might take longer than like 30 minutes. Dude. Yeah. The process of accepting where you're at, the process of accepting where other people are at, where the world is at, where we are in our solar system, goes from way out here all the way down to this little ant on this planet, and the person watching behind this screen. I'm so grateful for this lesson in my life because it's allowed me to move freely. And when you aren't free, even if you have a time schedule, you have a job, you have a kid, you have a house, you have a mortgage payment, you have a car, understand that you are as free as you make yourself free. So like right now, you don't know about my day. I had a whole morning up until 11, started recording at 11:30. I have work at 3, so I got to be done in about like 10 minutes. I've been on my grind, but the whole time I'm looking at this camera and I'm looking at what I'm doing and I'm like, I'm flowing with it, baby. This is how it's supposed to be. This is what I'm meant to do. And it turns into the path and journey and adventure that I'm accepting that I'm on. God comes down and tells me, you're doing great. Here's a blessing. Here's a sign saying that you're going the right way. Or here's a sign that you might have taken the wrong step. Like all those signs that he comes down and the universe pulls those signs up from out of the ground and lets you know, hey, you're going the right way, or hey, that was the wrong way. You should take the next exit. It has to do with accepting where you're at. Because if you can't accept where you're at and who you are and what you provide to this world, to your world, not to the 8 billion people, but to the 100 people that you come into contact with every day, then it's even harder to provide. Then you stop providing. Then you stop creating. Then you stop loving. Then you stop connecting. So I encourage you at the end of this video to sit down with yourself, look in the mirror, and say, you are beautiful, and give yourself a smile. That's the first step of accepting who you are and how beautiful you are and what you provide, because everyone is beautiful in their own way. And if you could see that in other people, then I hope one day that you see it in yourself. It's been a pleasure giving you these 20 lessons of the last 7 years of my life. And I can't wait for more. I can't wait to have more people on this podcast. I can't wait to have people on this podcast because it's just been me, but I'm excited nonetheless. It's going to be a journey. Can't wait to share it with you guys. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, comment something that you think I should have done differently or more, or what you want to see in these next episodes. Share it with somebody that you think is going through a 7-year process of whether they're at the beginning of the 7 years or at the end. I'd love for this information to reach them. And hit the bell so you don't miss the amazing and beautiful videos that come after this. Cheers, you guys. This is Day by Day, where we get 1% better. Come on.